The building. Gentlemen, let's do this.
Okay, so building is pretty fun. You start out at the beginning of the season, as I mentioned earlier, with a video, the first provides for you. Now, the first video, it goes through what you can do, what you can't do, what the robot may look like. And every year, I don't know why, they have a duck. I don't understand. There's a duck as a robot. Don't know. But after you see the video, like my team, we start drawing out designs, each of us, for what we think will be like the best prototype or design for like the function we want to do. Now this year was lifting rings. Last year was shooting balls through a hoop basically, and that was not fun. But some of the parts that we use during this are the wheel, gear. All you guys pass this around, kind of get a feel for it. And actually, I'm overstepping myself. Let me go back to prototype. After we had the prototype, we kind of we vote on what we want to do. It was like green, red, and yellow voting system. Green, we're gonna make a prototype out of metal and Legos. Yellow, we'll come back to it, vote again. And red, it's out. So after we had the prototype, we built them with Legos and metal, as I mentioned. And some of the other parts we also use, we have our wrench, our multi-tool. This right here is basically what we use to put together every part, because the robot is held together by small screws and little tiny nuts to screw together or hold together. So you have to pass this around too. And I'll go into what controls the robot. As mentioned earlier, we have the Smith module. And this Smith module is basically what controls the robot during competition, and what we can use to really kind of drive the robot. This right here can go by Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, and they're not really all that reliable in my opinion, but they're all right. And here's the brains of the robot. This is the NXT. Can't remember. But this right here is passed through all of the levels of FERC. It's used by FLL, First Lego League, Junior Lego League, FTC, which is our league, First Tech Challenge, and then FRC, which is First Robotic Challenge. FRC is pretty awesome. I like to imagine it's like the Iron Man robots walking around out there. Cool, right?
Yeah.
I can't see your faces here. Y'all blurs. I'm sorry, but they're not. We should. Do we? No.
That's all we
Okay.
got.
Okay. I don't think we're all over here, I guess. But continuing. FRC is basically huge robots on wheels about this big. They're they're powered by car batteries. They're like 1 ton each, I think. Probably exaggerating, but anyways. Some of the parts that go into that FRC stuff, FTC, are these. You have your standard kit that comes each season. We have your metal parts, your wheels, your Omni wheels are right here, your gears, and your DC motors, which is right there. So here, I'll let you guys pass around a DC motor. The DC motor is what powers the robot. It makes it kind of drive. So here you go. And I have some other charts that kind of show the parts that come with it. And with that, is the robot running? No.
One of the controllers is dead, and but we're working on it.
Okay. It's a work in progress. So
So in the meantime, I guess I'll talk about what I do. I'm the head PR for my team. Does anybody know what PR stands for? Public relations. When I was writing out my speech, I did that too, and I was just like, I've been doing this for ages, months. I should know anyway. Does anybody know what a PR person does? Basically, I talk to people.
Talk to
It's
people.
fun.
She never stops.
Yeah, it's really convenient because I like talking a lot. I gossip. One of the main jobs of a PR person is to set up events like this one, which actually I didn't do, which Chris did because he's an ex-student, but Chris does my job for me sometimes. High five.
Teamwork.
Yeah. And I guess it's really, one of the reasons I really enjoy being a PR person is because I'm really bad with technology, like you all saw on my phone.
Or phone.
It's a dumb phone.
I break things a lot, and this has been through things. But you still get to learn about robots, and you still get to build, but at the same time you're learning how to talk to people and communicate with people, which is not always easy. Another thing the PR person does is the engineering notebook, which is a captain's log of everything that happens in club. This is Andrew, actually. He's poster child.
That's our baby.
The format is like you have a table of contents, and then you have biographies of the team members and mentors and stuff, and then you just show what happens at the meetings, and you add pictures, which is fun. Although none of them, except for Andrew, wants to have their picture taken, which is the single most frustrating thing ever. The notebook's really important because it shows the team's journey, and you need it to go to competition. There's an award just for the notebook. It's called the Inspire Award, and they can get you into worlds. Like if your robot sucks, you can still move up in the competition based on just your notebook. So it's important. Another thing is gracious professionalism, which you read about in the book, right?
Yes,
Not
we
yet.
did. No, we did.
I know.
I did. Theoretically, we
Haven't
would.
read anything.
Yeah.
Haven't
So,
been here.
what did you read about in the book?
All right, I'll tell you. So here's what we did. When Chris contacted me and said he's got Robot Club, he wants to do it, it made me think about this book that just came out by Gordon Corman called Ungifted, right? Now, the premise of this book is a little bit silly at first. There's a kid who's a middle school kid,
Hey,
and
we're middle school.
he's basically a kind of average kid, and he's one of those kids, he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. He hits the statue in front of the school of Atlas holding up this giant globe, and the globe is metal and it falls off because it's an old statue, and it runs into the gym and basically destroys the gym. So he's hiding out, and the superintendent writes his name down and says, I need to find out who you are, blah, blah, blah. Basically, a scheduling change puts him in the Superfly, like, genius school in their district, where he gets involved in Robot Club, right? But he's not a genius. He's an average kid. And he becomes you. He becomes the PR guy. His job is like to name the robot and put stickers on it. Because he doesn't understand the robotics behind it, but they need someone to be the like PR person. So that's basically what he becomes, is the PR guy for the thing. And then of course in the end they have the robots attack each other and everyone loses. But there's this idea in the book about the clubs have a rivalry, but it's a professional rivalry. They don't like try to break things. They don't try to sabotage anything. So there's a professionalism to it.
It's much
and
like
it sounds like what you guys are telling me, that it's a competition, but it's a healthy competition.
It is, because like I mentioned earlier with this Mansion module, if you're at a competition, you will still give somebody else, another team, parts, even if you know that you're going to be against them. You still want them to do well. You still want them to do the best they can. You just want to be a whole lot better than them, if you get what I mean.
Yes.
I know that my friend Megan, she was her first team. I'm not going to name any names because that wouldn't be professional. But her first team was not a very professional team. Like they never let the kids do anything. The big thing about first is having the kids learn, having hands-on experience, and not having the mentors and not having the older members or the teachers do everything. And that made her really mad because she never got to play with her at all. But now she's on a new team called the Hitchhikers, and they're a really cool team. And yeah, the thing about gracious professionalism is that you have to be willing to help someone even if you really, really want them to lose. And you have to be friends with other people, and it's not about personal gain, it's about helping everyone. Like FIRST isn't founded, like, you know, the space race, the Cold War, the idea was like, we've got to be better than Russia, but this isn't like that. I'm not going to talk about communism, don't worry. The point is to be the best you can be and help others be the best they can be as well. I don't know how to explain that very well, but just don't be a jerk.
Yes.
Basically, the way our teams are set up is that it's 2 versus 2 each round. So you could be facing someone one round, and you don't want to make a bad reputation with them because next round they might be your teammate, and you might have to work together, make a team. Like this thing is actually supposed to be 3 by 3. So like our team, we try to get low ones while someone else works on the high ones. If we anger some team, and I come back and we have to work with them again, it's not going to go very well.
I get it. So you actually might be teamed with some other team that's not even like from your school or anything, right? It could
we
be
actually
anybody.
got teamed against the team from our school and another team, and that was interesting. I think we won that.
We
Did
won.
that? Yeah, we won that. That made us really happy.
That's fun. But I do like the idea that it is kind of all for one attitude, as opposed to I'm going to be better than you, and
Yeah.
you guys, if you guys are struggling, then it's
Anyone
you're
say
not
familiar with programming at all? Like, perfect.
I know nothing about How do you guys know programming?
It's
It's
a
Okay, okay.
generation. My uncle's works for.
Go for it.
It's a computer.
Talk programming.
Okay, so what this robot, it works using an NXT brick, which is on the side of the robot, which is like a mini computer for the robot. And it runs using C. Does anyone know what C is? Programming language C. Yeah, you?
C++.
And I can pass it around. This is what it looks like basically, and it's basically some instructions that go to the robot and tells it what to do. And so you programming it to be compatible with the controller, and it's basically already set up for that.
X's are bad.
Yes. And this is what the this is what it looks like basically. If you want to take a look.
So how long does it take you to learn that language? I mean, did you already know some programming coming into this?
Yes, I already knew some programming coming into it, but if you join the team, there's mentors and other people who've already been on the team who know how to program, and they'll be glad to teach you.
But so it's not too hard to learn the programming code.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get the basic syntax of the language, it's all
It's easy. And so we'll all with that language will be every year then. So you already know how to program next year. It's just programming it to do different things,
Yes.
lifting and shooting.
Like, she's not a regular
No, but this is really okay. Do you know how you program this? Okay. You're doing decent.
Up is down, down is up.
It's like our first time driving.
It is down.
In her defense, it's kind of
Hasn't broken
tilted.
yet. That's
Uh,
what
What's
it's
wrong with this
I
program?
need better knowledge.
Okay, okay.
Well, while they're being special over there, if you want to know about her,
But this doesn't move that way.
Take
Oh, it
him,
does.
take him.
In the program.
okay.
Which one is first? Is that the one you guys are in?
First is the highest level.
Okay.
And it's also the umbrella which like every league operates under.
Oh.
Actually, first is it's an acronym for recognition in science and technology. It was founded by Dean Kamen and Woody Flowers.
Oh, down, down.
Hey, hey. Oh my.
You guys aren't.